What's up, world? It's T Davis. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss a single episode of On the Top Coat. That button right there. Come for the nails while we talk a little bit.
It's interesting that you say that because a lot of people, won't admit that, right? A lot of people won't admit the fact that, other people's opinions really weigh on them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that sometimes greatly influences their decisions.
Very much so. I can definitely admit to that.
As Cory would say, what you call it, Cory? Peer pressure? Is that what it called?
Peer pressure is real.
It is.
People pleasing is real.
It is.
I've learned that people pleasing is a very tricky thing.
Mm.
People usually say, I don't people please because I don't do this for these group of people, but they people please to another group. Does that make sense?
It does, because I feel like I used to people please for my family. Like, being the youngest, I used to feel like I have to impress 10 other people or make sure I am doing what 10 other people like for me to do or impressing 10 other people. Like,
Yes, that's real.
No.
It's a gift and curse.
No, it is, yeah.
It's a gift and curse. So when you picked the song just now, was that peer pressure?
What,
Did he nudge you into?
Oh, no, that's my shit. Like,
what's
he named the song?
Case Missing You?
Case Missing You, like, I was on repeat, like I said, like last week.
People pleasing is it's like performing for a crowd that ain't
Absolutely.
watching.
I was
That's
just
a
about to
fact.
say that like by the time you let them know of the accomplishment or you let them know that you did the thing that they gave you the advice to do, they're like, oh, okay, like, cool.
You know, a lot of advice.
Yeah, like
A lot, and I would say a lot because I'll probably say I'll put a number into it because I'm a very number guy. So I would say 95% of the advice that people give you, right? They just gave it to you because during the interaction they needed something to say.
I feel that. No, I get you.
Yo.
No, I get that.
Yo.
Did I say something great?
No, I feel that.
They just because So what happened is there's something in psychology where it's hard for people to deal with silence. So, and usually the individuals who are super successful in life, they tend to be quiet a lot. Obviously, because they're trying to manage the room, they're seeing what everybody has to say. So typically they'll usually say they'll be having the last word. Right? They'll allow everybody to just voice their concerns and stuff. And they say, this is what we're doing. Doesn't mean that, right? But a lot of people are uncomfortable with silence. So during a conversation, they have to say something, right? Because leaving a gap, it becomes uncomfortable. If you think about it, just like
it's true.
Yeah.
So they needed something to say. So their advice is very reactive. Oh, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. And it's like, oh, they didn't even finish hearing.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it didn't even give you the complete.
Yeah, it's very reactive. So
Yeah.
they fighting silence. They have to say something. So by the time you come back and you tell them like, hey, you know what I think? You gave me the idea. It didn't work. What? That's crazy.
Literally.
So the way Chris described it just now, it sounds very trauma-filled. Have you ever came across from any kind of trauma in terms of somebody might have said something on the whim, you took an advice, and you're like, and then you realize later that you shouldn't have listened to this person?
Oh yeah, my siblings, 110%. I love y'all. I know some of y'all will see this, but absolutely. Like, I really had to kind of really start to remember it's my life, it's really not theirs. As a kid, definitely I think, and still to this day, I think my siblings have my biggest interests at heart. Want the best for me. I don't think they want the worst for me. I can't say that, but I can definitely say I had to start to realize your brothers are your big brothers, but they're not your husband. They're not your husband. They're not my dad. Basically, you're not gonna be my dad. Even my dad has I feel for all of us has been on some figure it out. Even my mom, my mom be on some she'll give you advice, but not really it's really you'll figure it out. She's praying for you. She's always been that type of woman. But And she'll give you, I guess, like definitely that listening ear. But I don't feel like my mother has ever been like, oh, and you need to do this, and because you're not doing this, like, I'm not really rocking with y'all. I'm not really feeling that. Like, my mom has always given all of us, like, the grace to be ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like, my siblings definitely fell into parental roles because my parents were having to work and having to be there. So it's just, like, I definitely feel like I had to, like, learn, like, all right, my sister would do that in a situation, but I wouldn't. Like, and it's because we're different people. Like,
true.
I'm not like her, and she's not like me.